Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Adam again. Just sitting out here in the barn thinking about things. And thought about how a couple months ago, a few people asked about the dishwasher I repurposed to be a parts washer. You may remember when I did the valve cover gasket replacement on the Subaru, pulled out the dishwasher and basically repurposed it to clean off all the oily parts before I reassembled it. Also made a quick short on that, and a couple of people asked if I could go in depth. So we're going to go in depth today on how this dishwasher was repurposed to be a parts washer. It's only a couple components you need to get this to work. Just so happened one day my brother said he was getting rid of a dishwasher and put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and no one wanted to take it. So he just brought it over to my house one day and dropped it off.
Uncle Nate, how's it going? Yeah.
Whenever people just drop stuff off at your house, it is the best thing ever because you can always find something to do with it later, even if it sits out in your barn for 10 years. So anyways, you got to get the dishwasher, number one. That's obvious. Number two, I picked up a MX UTEC. I'm going to put the part number down in the description. But basically what this is a 110 volt relay that can be switched on and off by a 5 volt or a 12 volt signal. So you got a 12 volt signal coming in. As soon as it turns on, connects whatever you got to the 110 outlet. So we got that. Also, I'll show you here in a second, had a leftover sump pump. The switch on it had failed. It was intermittent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but the pump still works good. I don't have water back here out in the barn. So basically what I do is I take the sump pump with the cleaning solution and I put it down in a 5-gallon bucket. And basically this relay, when it turns on for the cycles of the dishwasher, it turns the sump pump on. That pumps water in, and the pump down within the basin of the dishwasher pumps the wastewater out back into the bucket. Let's get down to business here. I'll show you exactly what we did to get this to work. So we have it back over here. This is Maytag Quiet Series 200. And the biggest thing I like about this one is it's got a heavy, normal, and light cycle wash. Whenever I do my parts washing, I always use the heavy cycle, make sure it gets extra clean. All right, so let's start out with the wiring on this beast. Basically what I did, and I could do a lot better with this, but this gets the job done for now. I've got a regular outlet plug with some Romex wire going down to the junction box underneath here. Standard junction box that you end up having when you plug it in the house. And then out of the junction box, I've also got another wire, not only connecting the washer electronics, but I've got another wire that comes back up this way and connects into the bottom of the relay here. Top of the relay, you've got another plug here. This plug plugs into the old trusty sump pump that failed in my basement, but still pumps just fine. By the way, when you get a lot of water in your basement, it helps clean out a lot of junk down there that's been sitting down there for 10, 15, 250 years if you live in a old house on the East Coast. Anyways, so we've got another wire that comes out from the solenoid underneath here. And basically this solenoid is the one that connects to your hot water in your house. So whenever you go through the cycle and it wants fresh water going up inside the washer, there's a electric valve underneath there, a solenoid that turns on and off based off of a 5 or a 12 volt signal coming out of the control panel. And that's what turns your water on and off there. So since we don't have water hooked up out here, I took that 5 to 12 volt signal and I ran it into the input side, the switch side of this relay here. And basically, whenever that solenoid turns on and off down there, it turns on this relay up here, and that energizes my pump. And if there's fluid in there, the float is up all the way, just like it would be in a sump pump. And it basically pumps all the water and cleaning solution up into the washer, and it cycles it around. So let's talk a little bit about the cleaning solution here. And that's the stuff that I've been using a couple different rounds on it. using some of the Simple Green. Basically, it's non-toxic, biodegradable, water-based. I don't want to use anything that's flammable inside here because I turn on the heated cycle when I run it. And then also, very critical, I've got some defoamer, and this is some stuff that commercial cleaning shops use. Found that on Amazon. The first time I ran this through, even with the Simple Green and a water mixture, it foamed like crazy, and I lost half my solution due to foam coming right out of it. So basically, that's what we've got in here. We've got the water mixed up with the defoamer, and then we've also got the Simple Green in there. I've got a variety of parts that we're going to go ahead and wash today. These parts I've had sitting around for a while. For instance, this is, some of you guys will recognize, an LS1, LS6 Corvette oil pan. This actually came off of the LS6 that I put into my Sonoma. I had to put a Hummer H3 pan on there to get it to fit. There's a lot of grime underneath here, real nasty up inside here, just been sitting around for a while. We'll see how this cleans up. Next thing we got, this old gas can that doesn't have a spout on the top of it. I just looked for random dirty, oily things in the garage. Managed to find this gas can. That'd be nice if I could clean that up. Also, some of you guys, BMW E21 guys, will recognize this. This is a Euro bumper, basically the side piece that goes on the bumper up at the back of the car, basically up front. Got an old spider gear from the Sonoma rear end. This one, when I was looking at it today, I actually noticed we got some chunks missing out of it, so this guy's gonna end up going in the trash anyways, but she's nice and oily with a lot of rear end gear lube. We're gonna go ahead and clean this up too. Found a High Life bottle back here. This one's been sitting back here since 2023, so not that long, but we're gonna go ahead and see if that label cleans up off of there. And a couple more things here. This is a heater box. Wraps around the squirrel cage for the fan on the E21. I'm never going to use this again, but I figured I'd show you how it can clean up some plastic pieces. And we've got a T3, T4 hybrid wastegate actuator here, or actually the wastegate flapper. This goes on the outside of the turbo for basically the T3, T4 turbo that I had. Never going to use this either, but we'll get that cleaned up, see how that goes with some of the exhaust grime. And then, of course, my favorite, these 3 oil pressure sensor screens that all have clogged up in their own bad way. We're going to see how these clean up inside there and what the solution can do for us. All right, let's get these parts loaded up in here. We'll start out with the biggest piece here. Well, you know what? Hopefully it fits. We're going to put the grimy side down just so it gets a lot of pressure. And, don't want that to happen. I got to anchor this into the wall at some point, but look at that. Seems to fit in there pretty nice. We'll see if the door closes once we get to that point. See if we can get this guy up on top of here. Well, there we go. I think that's going to work. Oh, yeah. No. That ought to work right there. All right. You get the High Life bottle down here. And our lovely little pressure sensor screens. We're going to set those up on top of here. If they end up bouncing out, they bounce out, but so be it. We're going to go ahead and put the gas can up on top of here. If she'll fit. There we go. And our spider gear, we'll put that guy right down here. Nice thing about the dishwasher too is you got the racks inside there, so those help keep everything nice and organized. And our squirrel cage. Oh, yeah, okay. And then our wastegate arm there. I don't think we're missing anything else. Let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. So we've got our Simple Green and defoamer solution. Cannot forget about the drain, because this is going to cycle the water back out. It's going to pump it out as we do our cycle. And of course, we got to drop our sump pump in here. Here we go. All right. She's good there. We're going to go ahead and get this fixed right to the top there. Okay, we're plugged in over there. and we should be ready to go here. So start it just like any other cycle. Hit the start button. There we go. You can hear it pumping. It's got a little bit of churn going on there as the pump is pumping up into the washer. And then what we do is we got the high temp, sanitized, and heated dry all on here to make sure we get a nice hot solution flowing through the washing machine as we go through and do the cycle here. Up close and personal here, I routed the outlet from the sump pump into the freshwater inlet there where the original freshwater went. Also, that little red light there indicates that our sump pump is running. Obviously, you can see that. And the cycle should be starting here soon because it just shut down the relay. So we got just enough solution in there that it'll start cycling here soon. All right, so we got the first cycle going here. The water cleaning solution has been pumped into the dishwasher. We got high temp, sanitized, heated dry on, all the things. And we're gonna go ahead and let this thing run overnight. And we come back tomorrow, we're gonna take a look and we should have clean parts. Yeah! So the water is looking sufficiently dirtier than it did yesterday. That's a good thing, I think. And let's open her up inside here and see how everything else fared. Let's start out with the top. Well, our bumper piece is still rusty on the backside, but clean nonetheless on the chrome side. A little bit of residue on here. That is one of the downsides of only using the cleaning water to do this, is that there's no fresh water. So I'm just have to rinse this off with fresh water, or I can just wipe this off. There's a little bit of residue from the cleaner on there, but otherwise, I mean, she's looking pretty shiny. Man, this gas can. This looks like it's brand new. And interestingly enough, the price tag from Ace Hardware back whenever this was bought was $3.99. I think today it's about $25. That price tag still stayed on there. How did that happen? And we got a little bit of solution inside here. Look at that. So that managed to take on a little bit of the cleaning solution during the run. But man, I've got another gas can over there I'm gonna clean up like this later today. Look at that. There's our wastegate housing there. Like I said, it's water-based, so I did get a little bit of rust on this guy here. Probably not something you would just want to leave sitting around without a little bit of oil on it. I don't know if it really cleaned. It looks like it cleaned off most of the residue and so forth, but yeah, just got to watch out for the steel pieces there. And our heater box, man, that looks practically brand new there, cleaned right up, excellent. Now for what I've been, well, got a little bit of water inside our oil pan there. Here's the beer bottle. That looks good. Clean the label off for the most part and clean out the bottom of the bottle. That's awesome. And our spider gear. Yeah, you know, that cleaned up pretty good. And you can see even more clearly that this guy had some damage going on. Again, this was when I had the open diff and the Sonoma. Not sure if that happened after I had the diff or if that was going on before. But this guy looks real clean. And let's get that oil pan out of there. All right. Well, we still got a bit of oil residue on the backside here. Looks like, I remember seeing that blue dot before. Might just be that didn't really get the solution up on the backside of this very nicely. Bottom side, that looks better. Whoa, we still got a little bit of road grime going on over here. Probably could take care of that with a brush pretty easily. yeah, overall, this looks pretty good compared to what it looked like before. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this guy in there for one more cycle, and I'm going to leave the heated dry off this time because I don't really want this solution drying up on this, but man, this looks a lot cleaner than it did before it went in there. Oh, almost forgot. You got these little guys up here. Here's the first one. It cleaned her out pretty good. Here's the other one we had. This one's got a little bit more gunk still on there, but you know, these guys would probably be good for another go in the car. And I lost my brown. Oh, there's the brown one down there. She was laying down in the solution on the bottom, so she looks a little dirty, but yeah, cleaned her up pretty good. Got the gas can nestled right up in there in the top, and we're going to go ahead and get this second round going here. All right, let's see how round 2 went here. The bucket water looks dirtier. This washer says it's clean. And, you know, actually turned out pretty good here. Let's take a look at the gas can. This is what I was really excited about. Yeah, look at that. That is immaculate. And our oil pan here. Still got the grime up on top of here. Probably not going to take that off without a little bit of brushing. But we're going to go ahead and pull this out of here. And, yeah, she looks good. She looks nice and clean. All around, still a little bit of grease on the back there, but overall she turned out pretty good. For this stuff here, I still use it as cleaning solution. That was actually probably around 3 or 4 on this bucket. If you ever decide to dispose of it, you know, even if it says biodegradable on there, you got oil and stuff in here, so you want to dispose of it responsibly. But other than that, you know what? I think we're going to call this a success. And if you guys have questions or you think you can do this a better way than what I did there with that relay to get this guy working here as a parts washer, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more content on my BMW E21, the LS6 Sonoma over there, or my E36 or Subaru outside.